Chatham, on the River Medway in Kent, and a danger we've not seen before on 999. Thick, cloying mud. It's deep enough and it's cold enough to suck the life out of anybody trapped in it. On one bitterly cold night, two local men had to fight their way through that mud as part of a rescue attempt that won them both bravery medals from the Royal Humane Society. The two rescuers, one a houseboat owner here on the Medway, the other a Kent policeman, have helped us reconstruct exactly what they went through that night. At low tide at Chatham, the mud flats can stretch more than 200 feet down into the Medway, leaving houseboats stranded on acres of deep, thick mud. Anyone trying to walk on it would quickly sink up to their thighs, or worse. Two yachtsmen had set off from a nearby pier towards their boat, moored midstream on the Medway. Nick Mail was rowing his friend Tony Boucher to rejoin their family and friends on board their yacht. At the same time, David James was returning to the houseboat where he lived.
I'd had a pretty heavy day at work, and I'd relaxed in the way I predominantly relax, which is having a few little drinks and a few little rums and things like this.
Oh, it's getting cold now.
Certainly is. Would you like me to turn the generator on in a few minutes?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Siobhan and I were just settling down in the evening to just try and, well, just doze it off, really.
Been a policeman in the Medway area now for 4 years. I've answered a lot of calls, done a lot of things, but that night, I think this was about the most unusual thing that I've ever done.
There's water in the boat! Be careful! Be careful! Be careful! Help! Help! Help!
Nick managed to stay with the boat, but the strong current swept Tony onto the mud flats.
Help me! Please! Help!
We heard some shouts outside. We thought it was drunk, so we went up to investigate, see what was going on outside. We both saw a man across the mud. And at the same time, we heard and then saw a man hanging on a buoy in a boat.
Can you hear somebody out there as well? I'm going to go get some help.
What's happened? What's your name?
The man that seemed to be making all the noise was the man on the buoy. The people that make the most noise are possibly the people that you should ignore temporarily. It should be the people who are very, very quiet you should go for. He could wait. Whereas the man that was down on the shoreline, I don't think could have waited. It could have been about 5 to 10 minutes before anybody came. I'm not sure we had that time. This mud is very, very deep and it's very cold. When you get into it, if you try and walk on it, you sink in. Had I walked on the mud, I'd probably still be doing it today.
I'm gonna flip you on your back. Stay flat. Come on, push with your legs.
He was shaking semi-uncontrollably. He was suffering from absolute and total exhaustion. He wasn't with it at all.
Just hold it here for a second. You'll be all right. Breathe in. Keep breathing. Go on, keep going. Okay. We're going to go for the boat. When I say push, I want you to push with your legs. Push! Push!
I tried with a scruff of the coat, and that wasn't getting me too far. And so I grabbed hold of the back of his hair. It's quite a lot of it, so I grabbed hold of the back of it, and I kept jerking it, and just to drag him up the mud. So the extra pain certainly gave us a much better response.
Push! Push! No tenure. Come on, push! Push! Damn it! Push! Almost there. Come on.
After the big struggle to drag him back, David James somehow still had to get him up the ladder and onto the houseboat.
Right, stop. Get your breath. Stay there.
You got a 15-stone man complete with mud. He's got an overcoat on that must weigh about a quarter of a ton by this time. He's now got to go up this ladder that's at a fairly steep angle. And you've got to try and to lift him up, because I can't lift him completely. He's got to do something now.
Come on, both hands on the rung. Go up, go up. Hold the ladder, it's slipping. Go on, up. And this one. Keep going. There he is. Someone help him. Come on, Eddie, come on. Come on. Come on. You're right now, come on. That's it, relax. He's easy now, you're okay. Relax. You're all right. Safe now.
Yes, it's fine, Pete. Yeah, one more.
Are you all right? Can you hold on a minute?
He did need help and need help urgently.
Dick, give us your hand, will you?
Quickly stripped off, got me mate to help me get me radio and me bits off me that were attached to me. Stuck the boots back on for my own safety.
All right, mate, don't worry, I'll be out to you in a minute.
Grabbed a rope
Keep holding the boy.
and made my way down the ladder.
Pete! What? Do you want this ring? Yeah, go on, throw it now!
It was just such a fantastic frisbee shot.
Cracking! Well done!
It just came straight up. I just watched it come down, stick my hand up, and there it was.
All right, mate, I'm coming to get you. Don't panic, all right? What's your name, mate? Nick. Nick! All right, Nick, don't worry, I'm coming to you. All right? Just stay where you are. Hey. Oi! Hang on, can somebody get a rope? I'm stuck.
The rope had literally cut its way into the mud. I could see that I wasn't getting anywhere. Swimming along, and just wasn't going anywhere at all.
I just yelled out, I'll do it, I'm going to go do this. Because I was already used to it, and I thought, well, you know, why not?
I'm not going anywhere. Can somebody come and free it?
Okay! I'll do it! I'll do it!
I obviously didn't know who he was at the time. Never met the person before. And next thing is he was there.
Right, mate, come on. I'm pulling it out. Go. Don't worry, Nick, I'm coming to you. Stay holding onto the boat, mate. All right?
Feeding now, you all right? All right, stay in it!
Now, look, when I get to you, don't start lunging at me, pushing me or grabbing me. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yeah. Right, now, look, if you do, I'm going to push you off me and you go under. Now, you stay there, right? OK, I'm nearly there.
He's been in there a long time, and it is a long time by now that he's been in that water. He's got heavy clothing on. It's all waterlogged. And he needs help. He needs to get out of that water quick.
OK, don't worry about it. Look, you're going to have to let go with his hand.
No,
I'll die. No, you won't. I'm here to help you. Don't panic. Let go now. Let go. Let go. That's it. OK. Where are you?
Dreadful thing happened. He went down. I lost sight of him. I thought I'd lost him. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how it happened. But I reached down through the ring, pulled him up. And took it from there.
Where are you? Get up there. Come on. Get in there. That's it.
Obviously, he was well shook up at this point.
OK. Pull it in. Come on.
They pulled us in. They pulled us in pretty quick.
Come on. Keep pulling. Come on, pull. We're nearly there. Come on, we've nearly got him out. OK, Nick, don't worry, mate. OK, Nick, you all right? You all right, Nick?
So I get him out, and it came into a very, very emotional part.
You're out of the water now.
Are you a fireman?
No, mate, I'm a policeman.
I thought you were a fireman.
OK, all right, Nick, go.
He grabbed hold of me, and he thanked me.
Listen, can you move your legs, Nick? Can you move your legs?
Very, very emotional. For a split second, I'd realised that this bloke, if I hadn't have been there, he would have been dead. I'd saved his life.
It had taken more than an hour to bring both men to safety.
I just thought it was astonishing. You know, you got somebody out of the blue coming out to help me, and it's freezing cold, and this guy's covered, absolutely covered in mud. And I was just stunned. I thought it was amazing.
What I feel mostly about the situation is when the man came out over the mud and stood over me, coaxing me on, the warmth that came between us there, and the courage that he had, or they had, to come over the mud and help us, I thought it was incredible.
I'm gonna flip you on your back. Stay flat. Right.
It's very strange knowing that a stranger's saved my life. You have brothers and sisters, you have uncles, aunts, but the person that saved your life, he's a lot closer than all of these people put together.
I don't want to be one of those if-only people, the people that say, if only I'd done something. If I hadn't done something, anything at all, I couldn't possibly have lived myself the next day.
I went off, got a shower, got myself some clean uniform.
Persons making off will break into motor vehicle.
Bravo Alpha 2-3 attending. There was a call that somebody had made off from breaking into a car. And there I was back on the beat, searching for this bloke who's just made off from his car. A couple of hours after this had happened.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
All right, okay.
I seem to remember saying to him, I think you're a hero. After all, I think he was. I don't know if I can do this, but I'd like to thank the policeman in question from myself. Thank you very much.